All right, what is up, everybody, and welcome to yet another episode of the Inside the LPGA podcast. I am Hope Barnett, a host for the LPGA Tour, and I'm so excited to be joined by my co-host once again, Adam Stanley and Emma Talley. Guys, it is time for the season finale. It is time for the CME Group Tour Championship. This year absolutely flew by, but how excited are y'all to get this week started? I'll kick it off with you, Adam, because you're here. We're in the same hotel right now, just in different rooms. So
Yes.
how excited are you for this week and to be on site?
This is one of my favorite weeks of the year for a variety of reasons. Obviously, we had the big Rolex LPGA Awards on Monday night, a tremendous celebration of the year that was in women's golf. Just to see Rolex and their involvement in the LPGA Tour and in golf in general every single year and how much they step up to the plate is tremendous. CME as well. You look at what's on offer this week, and Emma, from a player perspective, I'm sure you'll get into this, but $4 million for the first place prize. I think the minimum's $55,000. Just for getting into the field this week as well. So, you take the money, you add it to the stakes, you add it to this limited field, you add it to this big time golf course, you add it to all of the extra celebratory things that happen this particular week in women's golf. And it's such an exciting one to be at, to kind of feel it. You know what I mean? There's an undeniable juice to this week. And it's always great to be here and be on site.
Emma, I was going to wait till the end to bring this up, but I think actually I'm just going to bring it up now because we might as well. Emma yesterday got inducted into the Kentucky Golf Hall of Fame.
What?
So pretty freaking cool. What a week for you.
Amazing.
You got to do that with your family, and then now you get to watch the CME Group Tour Championship. I mean, like, how cool. So
The best.
what was that experience like? Because I just want to hear all about it. Tell the viewers.
It was great. My family, we're a bit surviving at the moment. We have a couple people on crutches. I have a 5-month-old baby, so we looked a little crazy walking in the doors, but it ended up being great. My coach was here. Some of my team was here, and so it was great to celebrate. I was more nervous giving the speech than I would have making a putt on the last hole to win a golf tournament. So, but it went okay. My husband said I looked good. I sounded good, so I think it went okay.
Of course you did.
But yeah, it was just exciting. I mean, to retire and then all this kind of coming afterwards has just been like a cherry on top. And even though the baby's not going to remember any of it, it's cool to have a family doing it together. So it just feels a little different. So very excited, very honored, and very cool to be part of such a cool group of people in the Kentucky Golf Hall of Fame. So yeah, thanks for mentioning it, but it was great.
It is very deserving. I mean, like, your daughter's got to know she's got the coolest mom around. So
Well, in
she'll
my
look back on those
speech,
pictures one day.
in my speech, I was like, she better break all the records. So good luck, little girl.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Oh,
Amazing.
that's so cool.
Yes, so it was good.
Well, congrats, Emma. We're so
Thank
excited
you.
for you. Very exciting week in golf, mainly because of that. Just saying.
Just saying.
It is the season
That's-
finale, but forget
There's
that.
nothing going on in the LPGA. Just Emma got inducted in
no.
the Hall of Fame.
Exactly. That's all we care about on this podcast. No, but it is going to be a really good week here at Tiburon Golf Club. We have been at this course for the Tour Championship since 2013. So the people that have been returning to this tournament, they definitely have, I would say, a bit of an upper hand because they know the course. They know this place like the back of their hand. And Emma, you are one that has played in this tournament a lot. So if you could just talk on that a little bit. I mean, how much does it help to not be making your debut, to know this course, to know how to play it?
Yeah. Well, I think it really tests all parts of your game, and especially throughout the weekend, the course gets firmer and faster as the days go on. And I actually wrote down a couple of notes, but number 1 is quite intimidating. Number 3 is pretty tight. But then you get opportunities to score on 6. It's a reachable par 5. 17 is usually reachable. I actually feel like the chipping around the green is quite tricky as well because of the Bermuda. So, and there's some steep runoff, so you can actually get in some tricky places around the green. So, I think this is a ball striker's golf course when you look at the whole picture. I know I say that a lot, but I think that if your irons, especially your high irons, are going well this week, I think you're going to play really well. So that's kind of what I think. It's a hard golf course. They get it really rolling fast by the end of the week. So these longer players are going to have a little bit of an advantage as well, um, hitting shorter irons into the green. So I think you've seen that in the past. Those long hitters are usually the ones that play the best at this golf course.
Hmm.
We've seen Lexi, Nelly, we've seen Aria. Those kind of players play well here, and I think there's a reason for that. So yeah, it's gonna be an interesting week. There's It's been such a crazy year, so I'm excited to see who's holding the trophy at the end of the week.
Yeah. I mean, I think for those who maybe don't know, just a little tidbit here is that the top 60 from the year actually get into this event. So it's a shortened field. There's obviously everyone's going to make money, which is awesome. But let's talk about just how special it is to get into this event because up until last week, players were still vying to get into that top 60 spot. And there were three players specifically that I wanted to talk about that did some crazy stuff last week to just barely inch their way in. And first and foremost, I want to talk about Lucy Lee. She needed a birdie on the 18th hole to play her way into the CME Group Tour Championship. And she was as clutch as it gets. She sunk that putt, and here she is this week teeing it up. And then Natalia Guseva, she actually finished T7th, and she had a hole-out eagle on the last, which was just
Hills.
so wild. Yeah, and she was in the final group too, so it was such a good week for her, and what a nice way to end the season. You don't know when you're going into that tournament, am I going to be at the CMU Group Tour Championship? Am I not? And then she had such an awesome week and ended up playing her way in. And then the craziest one, in my opinion, was Brooke Matthews. She had a hole-in-one on the final day, which actually is the shot that got her into the tournament. So no big deal, no pressure there. And then literally 2 holes later, she chipped in for eagle. Like, what?
And she has a
It
2-year
was
lease
wild.
on a Lamborghini.
On a
Yeah.
Lambo. Yeah.
Like, I'm going to go to CME and I'm going to play my butt off. And I also have a 2-year lease. She's going home next week with a lot in her pockets.
Oh yeah, she is going to be thriving.
Yes.
Hope,
But
can I just
I
say
mean,
something quick about those three and
yeah.
like their just how they efforted like over their weekends last week? Can I say something quick there?
Hmm.
So the thing that
Oh
really
yeah.
stood out because they know like you got to know, right? Like there's projections and there's just like, well, what do we I'm not in now, so I'm going to try to shoot for it because there's I'm going to play like there's no tomorrow because if I don't make it in there is no tomorrow. And I got to say like Lucy going 65, 65, 66 for her final 3 rounds. Baller, amazing. Natalia going 63, 68, like round of the day on Saturday, baller. And then Brooke going 64, 65 on the weekend in order to take it across the finish line, including the fabulous shots that you just mentioned, like total ballers. So kudos to
So
them, not just
well.
for everything you mentioned, Hope, on the Sunday and how kind of Lady Luck is on their side maybe a little bit too, but they had numbers in mind. I'm sure they kind of went out. One putt goes in, another. The snowball's rolling down the hill fast, but then you kind of zoom out and look like these trio of ladies specifically, like they went out and like they did the darn thing. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? And
Yeah.
now they're here with a big time reward.
Yeah.
Yeah, those numbers are
Yeah.
low, especially for Pelicans. So, like,
A
that's good
Pelican.
golfing.
And I feel like that pressure that you put on yourself, it can affect players in so many different ways.
Hmm.
It could put too much pressure to where then they miss the cut and it's like they're not even in it anymore. But those three, I would say the pressure worked.
Yes,
So,
absolutely.
yeah, so very happy for them and excited to watch them tee it up. But the theme of this year, guys, has been parity. There has only been 2 repeat winners, and it is very fitting that it is Miyu Yamashita and the world number one Jeeno Thitikul, because there has been 30 different winners and 11 first-time winners. We have never seen a season like this on the LPGA Tour, and I want to talk about the fact that the 2 players that have had repeat wins, Miyu and Jeeno, they're the ones that are in the running for Player of the Year. Miyu already won Rolex, Louis Suggs Rookie of the Year. Like she got that in the bag. It's also crazy to think that she's a rookie, but just Adam, like we need to talk about that for a second because what a year it's been. Like how do you even sum it up?
Yeah, I mean, when you think about themes, you can only really use that singular word in parody, especially because of everything that happened last year. We saw the historical, efforting from Nelly Korda, and obviously Lydia getting into the Hall of Fame. You had this accomplishments that kind of transcended women's golf, and they became part of the golfing conscious. They became part of the sports conversation, which is tremendous. And then this year you pivot almost all the way to the other end of the spectrum with respect to how many different winners we've had. You think about this player of the year race, and of course we can pick and choose who maybe our favorites were from the year that was, but Jeeno and Miyu are just so far ahead of everyone else on their kind of numerical accomplishments. Like you look at top tens, for example, I've got it here in front of me. They're just so far ahead of everybody else. I think there's 13 top tens for Jeeno and a dozen for Miyu, which is absolutely, absolutely incredible when you think about, just steady golf. Like it's truly amazing when, the next group of top tens is really kind of in that 8 or 9 mark, and it's like, wow, you guys are not even close, right? And then of course the wins, as you mentioned, only 2 golfers on the LPGA Tour winning more than once, and it was the two of them. So statistically, numerical accomplishments, just kind of inside the ropes and how they've handled themselves with that consistency all year long. They are head and shoulders above everyone else for this Player of the Year race, and no real surprise that it comes down to this final tournament for the two of them. And it's been cool, right? Because obviously in 2024 we had something that was, we had never really seen it before. Obviously, even from the Lydia Ko perspective, getting into the Hall of Fame, that's so rare. It's just not something that happens. And then this year we've had another thing that just never happens with all the people who have won, and all the people who've kind of broken these winless droughts as well. Emma, you had talked about Charlie Hall a little bit before we got started with breaking a winless drought. My girl Brooke Henderson, obviously, breaking a big, long winless drought. Nasa Hataoka just won, breaking a long winless drought as well. So it's not just the 11 Rolex first-time winners. It's these golfers that we know, that we've followed for so long, that are kind of finding their way back into the winner's circle in a year when just everyone was doing it. Everyone was lifting a trophy.
Hmm.
I think that just shows,
Yeah.
the depth of the LPGA Tour too. I think that we've said that all year, but you just never know who's going to win because the depth on the tour is just so good. And like you said, Hope, like even the rookies now are coming out pretty strong. They don't care that they're rookies anymore.
Yeah.
So it's just been a cool year. I think just inspiring year for the next generation too, that anyone can win. Because last year it felt like it was just Nelly every single week.
Yeah. I know. We were like, well, we don't have, every time we would do the podcast, we're like, well, we're going to talk about Nelly again because she keeps winning. We don't have much more to say. Well, I think too, another player that's had an incredible year is Minjee Lee. And, she's obviously played in multiple CME Group Tour Championships. And I was talking, obviously the Rolex LPGA Awards were last night, and I was talking to all the players, and they're all just so grateful for this week because not only is it the season finale and it's so important to get into this event, but like the winner's check, guys. You can make $4 million in 1 week. I mean, that's so
Unreal.
rare for women's sports. And to see that, Emma, just being a professional athlete, how much does that mean to you for a brand, for CME, for Terry Duffy to step
Oh my
up
gosh.
and put that money on the
I mean,
line?
yeah, I mean, I think obviously I don't know any other word other than incredible, grateful, thankful, like all the things. I think it's amazing what he's done for the game of golf. He's really challenged other sponsors to lift the tour higher. And I'm just so thankful for him and CME Group. They really treat us really well this week, and it's just a very elite tournament in general. And he's done a great job supporting the LPGA Tour. And I know that all the girls are just so thankful, including myself. Like I said, he's challenging the tour to get better and better, just himself. So we're very thankful for him. We're very thankful for CME Group, and um, what a week! I mean, we're breaking records, $4 million purse, like it's insane. So, oh, they're
Hmm.
playing for a lot this week, but very exciting stuff.
Also, another thing that always happens at the end of the year is the Vare Trophy. So that's basically like the lowest scoring average from the whole season. And Jeeno is once again, of course, in the running for that. She actually won this event last year. So I
Yeah,
think
she
it'd be
did.
pretty easy for her to win that and probably just sweep the awards. I wouldn't be surprised if she ended up doing that. But how much is on the line too? There's four players in the running. So if you could just talk about the Vare Trophy a little bit and how much that probably means to the players, especially after a year like this where everyone has been playing well, it seems.
Yeah, I think the interesting thing about the Vare Trophy is like it's a statistical reward for an
Mm-hmm.
incredible body of work for the year that was. You know what I mean? Like it's pure math, and it's like, did you have the best scoring average? Did you play the best cumulatively? When you add them all up, divided by the tournaments, like were you the best, basically, right? So there's a lot of honor behind winning this particular trophy. I got the numbers in front of me. I won't read them out because there's a lot, but the four who are in the mix: Jeeno, Nelly, Minjee, and Miyu. And when you think about, kind of the heavy hitters, right, or the Mount Rushmore of the 2025 kind of golfing
Yeah.
calendar, you think, yep, that
Those are the
pretty much
four.
makes a lot of sense, right? So,
Yeah.
so yeah, I think, to your question specifically, it's going to be a shootout, kind of quite literally, with respect to trying to win that Vare Trophy. And then you look at, if you just kind of, you're looking back a couple years from now, just on the Wikipedia entry of it all, you're like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense why person X ended up winning the Vare Trophy. And I say person X because if any of those four do it, and you look at their body of work from 2025, it's like, yeah, they
Wouldn't be a
they played
surprise.
pretty darn well. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So Geno's up. I think here I've got it right. I'll say at least Jeeno looks to be up. I guess a half shot, maybe a
It's
third
a
shot
lot.
over Nelly. So now Nelly have to go low this
Mhm.
week in order to do it. Almost a whole shot over Minjee. So statistically, I guess it's possible because they said it. They said it is, but at the same time, they're going to have to go low. But I wouldn't be surprised if one of those four, or pardon me, one of those three chasers end up doing it.
How epic would it be if Nelly won this week, though?
That
Like after the
just
season that
saying.
we've
We're
had,
picking picks later, and
Yeah.
that would be crazy.
We're
yeah.
Yeah. Cough, cough. Well,
For the listener, Em and I are winking. We could not be winking harder right now at the
Yeah.
screen.
well, it's actually time we make our picks. So why wait, actually? We're going to make two picks for this week. The first pick is going to be someone in that 1 through 30 range. And the second pick is going to be someone in the 31 to 60 range, which this was Adam's idea. So great idea. Because I wanted to do like a dark horse and then like a pick that obviously, makes a little bit of sense. But I was like, I don't know how to, put the numbers on that. And then Adam was like, why don't we do this? I was like, perfect.
Why do we do this? Yeah,
why don't we do this? That's exactly how you sound, by the way.
yeah, right. Yeah.
You can kick us off, Adam. Tell us who your picks
Okay.
are for this week.
Okay, so a little recency bias for me, and I mentioned her name earlier, but my pick from the 1 to 30 range is Nasa Hataoka. She finally returned to the winner's circle this year, a couple of weeks ago, albeit in kind of an awkward fashion, but she still did it with that Toto Japan Classic victory. A couple of reasons. Going to pull out some numbers here. Obviously, she was second here in 2023 and 2021. In 2023, when she finished 24 under par, that would have won every single CME Group Tour Championship in the
Wow.
tournament's history, hosted here at Tiburon, except for the one that she finished second at because didn't quite do it that particular week.
Yeah.
Amy Yang obviously got all the way to 27 under. So she's also coming in hot. 7 top 10s of the season, on the season, excuse me, but 6 of those top 10s have come in her last 8 events. So I think NASA's got a great chance this week. And then my dark horse, my long shot, whatever you want to call it, Lottie Wode. Lottie has only played 8 tournaments this year, somehow, some way, and she's finished in the top 10 in 4 of them. Of course, won her first event as a pro. Lydia Ko, the only person to win this tournament in their debut. Hope that's correct. That's correct.
Yes.
So
Only player.
Lottie has done a lot already this year that is like, wow, this is the first time, or this is, I can't believe it, et cetera, et cetera. So I wouldn't be surprised if she adds one more to that particular accomplishment resume. Nasa Hataoka, Lottie Wode. Those are my 2 picks for this week.
Those are good ones.
Those are good ones.
I like it. Emma, you're up
Okay,
next.
my two. I have to say, I'm going with LeBron James, Nelly Corda, y'all. I don't know if you saw it, but
That was
LeBron's
sick.
been posting about Nelly's shoes, which was absolutely sick. So I think she's got a
Hmm.
little juice behind her this week. First, obviously, Nelly Corda. She's been playing amazing golf. Um, Adam, I don't know if you have the stat in front of you, but at least in the middle of the season, Nellie's scoring average was actually better than it was last year, and she wasn't winning 7 times. So
Yeah.
um, I
Which
don't
is
know if that's
crazy.
still the case, but she's just had a great year, even though maybe she hasn't got as many trophies. She's so consistent. She loves this golf course. I think it fits her game perfectly. Nelly Corda all the way. And then my second, my dark horse, is Lauren Coughlin. I mean, I think she had just a great year last year, and I'm kind of cheating in the fact that she's 31st. So, like, she's just outside. But
I was looking at her.
yeah, I mean, why not, right? Like, she's a great player. She knows how to win. She is absolutely a ball striker through and through. Like, iron play is unreal. So, that's my second, my dark horse, per se. But I don't know if she's really that dark. So, go, Lauren.
Emma, can we real quick just touch on this LeBron James thing with Nelly because
Yeah. So
holy
cool.
smokes, it's very cool. And Emma, to your point, if you want to expand on it a little bit more, like yeah, LeBron like posted on his Instagram story that Nelly sent him some of her new shoes. Like how sick is that?
Yeah.
I know,
Yeah,
and then
so
he was
sick. I don't
tweeting at
know
her
if they're
too.
friends.
Yeah,
Yes.
So
I
cool.
don't know if they're friends or like what the situation is, but I don't really care
it's
what
like
the situation is. I
let's
just
go.
know that Nelly basically, yeah, Nelly is made a shoe with Nike, and she often talks about lion as her like thing, and so there's this chain that has a lion. I know LeBron's all about that too. And
Hmm.
so she sent him some shoes. And like I said, I don't know if they're friends. I don't really know the backstory behind that, but he's tweeting and posting it and all these things. So like now they're friends. And so why would you not pick Nelly
Yeah,
this week? If
now they are
LeBron
friends.
James, yeah, if LeBron thinks she's amazing, then we all should think she's amazing, which we do.
So cool. Whenever that tweet came through, I was like, am I reading this right? Is this actually happening right now? So I love
little
that. Best
little
crossover of
miss
the year, no doubt.
best
Goats,
cro- little misspell
goats.
LeBron
Yeah.
Yeah.
UT, but we'll forgive him for
Yeah,
spelling
Yeah.
putt wrong. But that's okay.
it's
Yeah,
fair. He's got big things to
I
worry
mean,
about, so.
he's got big
he's
fingers,
a
I'm sure.
goat. He's a goat, and he's realizing that she is too. I think that's
Hmm.
the connection, you know? Like it's just like the Caitlin Clark thing. Like people know her because she's so good. So Nelly has become that person of like the stardom. Everyone wants to watch Nelly's golf swing. Like it's perfect. She's just she's cool. So
Yeah.
Nelly all the way.
There we
All
go.
right.
Yes.
It's a
Okay,
good
Hope.
one.
Sorry, we're coming on back. We're
No,
coming on
no.
back.
All right. I mean, my pick is very obvious. Also, let's just say it's kind of crazy that none of us picked Jeeno. Did we have just like an unwritten rule that we couldn't pick her? Because it's wild. But anyways, my pick is Minjee Lee. Obviously, she's had such a good year, and one thing about Minjee is that she loves a big tournament, you know? There's something about her. I actually asked her last night. I was like, "Do you treat these weeks differently? Like do you treat them like bigger than life?" And she's like, "No, because then I put more pressure on myself." But I'm like, "But you do treat them differently because you always play so well at them." So she actually won the Rolex Annika Major Award, so she played the best this year at majors, and this is kind of just like our sixth major almost because it's just so big. It's such a big purse. It's such a big week. And she's also second in strokes gained putting. So she's putting really well. She's got that broomstick putter, and I think it has been serving her very nicely all year. And she's
She
also
was
had
like
eight top 10
130th.
finishes.
She was like 130th in putting last year in strokes gained putting.
Yeah,
To kind of emphasize your point, Hope. Like it's unbelievable. It's
right.
wild the turnaround.
The comeback that she has had with that club is absolutely unreal. So it's been really fun to kind of see her come back and get in the winner's circle again because she went 2 years without a win. And I honestly didn't think I would ever see that from Minjee. I was like, I think she's going to win every year that she's out on tour. So she is my main pick. And my dark horse is actually Gabby Lopez. Friend of the pod. We had her on earlier this season. And friend of the pod. I just say that for anyone that we've had. And so she actually has had a pretty good year. She's had 6 top 10s. And she had a 3rd place finish last week at the Annika driven by Gamebridge. And she's also played well at CME before. So I think she is someone to keep an eye on. This week she likes this tournament, and I think she also kind of likes a big event too. So those are my picks, and I guess we'll see. May the odds be ever in your favor, guys. Hopefully we can pick a winner.
Well, one last time this year. Yeah, right. We did fine. We found like 1 or 2 in there this year with the picks. So we didn't go over, which is good. Yeah.
No, yeah. We succeeded in some ways. But
wasn't Minjee one of the ones that you picked and then she won?
I think so.
Or no, I'm trying to remember. Well,
I don't know. Well, I picked Australia at Crown.
Yeah.
I think that might be the only time we picked a winner. I'm going to be honest.
Well, I'm just going to say that I told you guys at the very beginning, I think we would have all said this, but I said Jeeno was going to be number 1 at the end of the season. And so
you did.
We're not quite there, but we're about there.
Yeah. I don't think anyone's overtaking her this week. So
no.
You're good. No, it's been such a good season, and I think this week is going to be awesome, and I'm so excited to see how it unfolds. So thanks for catching up with me, guys. But before we log off, I actually do have some news for the listeners and everyone. First and foremost, I just want to say thank you, everybody, for the support for the podcast and for anything that me, Adam, and Emma do, because we put a lot of hard work into the things that we do. But I'm actually leaving the LPGA. And I know, it's like the hardest thing, the most bittersweet decision, most bittersweet thing I've ever done. But this is my last week with the tour. So I'm going on to pursue another opportunity, which I'm sure I will talk about soon. I'm very excited about it. But I mean, I'm not done with the LPGA. Like, I'm hoping to still freelance some, and my boyfriend is a caddy out here, so I'll be out here. But
yes,
it is a very, very bittersweet feeling. I've been here for 5.5 years, and I can't thank like the fans, the players, all of my coworkers enough, because it's just been so much fun. And I'm like trying not to cry right now, but I'm really, really excited for my next chapter, and I'm so grateful for y'all too, for doing the podcast with me and LPJ Now and all the things. So thank you guys for going on this journey with me. Thank you.
We love you, Hope.
Hope you are a true professional, and we wish you nothing but the best in what is to come.
And you're a great person and friend. Yay.
I'll take that. I mean, what a win for this Tuesday morning. No, thank you guys. But enough about that. We have a big week ahead. So everybody, put your picks in the comments. We want to know who your main pick is and your dark horse. Be sure to tune in all week. There's going to be lots and lots of TV coverage. There's also ESPN Plus featured groups. So tune in. It's going to be a good week. And let's go, guys. Thanks for doing this.